She came home at 4:07 a.m., shoes in her hand, hair damp, lipstick gone. She leaned into the doorframe like the hallway might collapse without her weight. "Don't ask," she whispered. So I didn't. I watched her move past me, slow and careful, like a thief returning something she couldn't afford to steal. She smelled like cold air and someone else's soap, not guilt, calculation. I stayed on the couch, lights off, breathing even. She glanced back once, a test. I passed by failing to react. That was the moment something in me locked into place. Not anger, not fear, alignment. I already knew the night had answers. I just didn't know who would bleed from them. When the sun came up, I made coffee. I set the cups out, 2 of them. Routine is camouflage. She went to bed without a word. At 9:13 a.m., I heard the door open again. That's when her jaw dropped, because she wasn't supposed to see him in our living room. Not like that, not sober, not waiting, not calm. I'd suspected for months. The pauses, the new passwords, the way her laughter changed pitch when she thought I wasn't listening. Infidelity never announces itself. It leaks. I collected the leaks. Late work messages that ended in silence, receipts that didn't match calendars, a second phone that never rang when I was nearby. I told myself stories to survive. Stress, distance, fatigue. Lies are a form of anesthesia. But that night, 4 a.m., the anesthesia wore off. I didn't sleep. I sat with the facts and let them breathe. I replayed every version of her smile, every time she'd said my name like it was a favor. By morning, denial was gone. Not shattered, replaced with focus. I made a call before she woke up, not to confront. Never confront without leverage. I invited him over, used her phone, her voice memos, her words. "Come by in the morning," I typed. He's gone. He believed her lies the way I once had. That's the tragedy. Lies travel light. While she slept, I worked. Phone records printed, messages recovered, timelines rebuilt. I watched her through the bedroom door, the way she slept so peacefully beside deception. It fascinated me. Monsters are always calm when they think the world is aligned in their favor. I didn't wake her. I waited. He arrived just after 9, nervous, smiling, carrying confidence like a borrowed jacket. I offered him coffee. He talked too much. Men do when they think they've won. I learned everything without asking. How long, how often, what she said about me when she needed sympathy. I kept my face neutral, my voice steady. Inside, a storm reorganized itself into strategy. I didn't hate him. He was a symptom. She was the design. When she came out of the bedroom and saw us, the color left her face, her mouth opened, closed. Silence finally told the truth she couldn't. I slid the folder across the table, phone logs, photos, hotel confirmations. Then I handed her the DNA envelope. She laughed once, too sharp. Is this a joke? I met her eyes for the first time that day. No. The paper trembled in her hands. She already knew what it said. The body knows before the mind gives permission. Not mine. She collapsed into the chair, began to speak, stopped, began again. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't ask questions. I asked one thing only. How long were you going to let me believe it? She cried. He stared at the floor. I stayed still. I stood, looked at him. "You can take her things," I said calmly. "They're packed." He blinked, confused. I looked at her. "I knew before you came home last night," I said. "I just wanted to see how easily you'd lie." That broke her. Not the evidence, not the exposure, the fact that I'd already left her emotionally and she hadn't noticed. I opened the door for them, didn't rush, didn't threaten. Power doesn't need volume. After they left, the apartment felt larger, quieter, honest. I threw nothing, kept nothing. I sat where I'd waited all night and let the silence finish the job she'd started. Betrayal doesn't end you, it clarifies you. I learned what love looks like when it's lying, and what I look like when I stop begging it to be real. The door closed behind them, and for the first time in months, I felt nothing at all.